Welcome to Penn State Dickinson Law's Profiles in Leadership series. I'm Daryl Lim. I serve as Associate Dean for Research and Strategic Partnerships. This series explores leadership through the eyes of judges, lawyers, policymakers, and innovators as they reflect on their journeys, institutional responsibilities, and the lessons they have learned along the way. It is a real pleasure to welcome today's guest, Judge Kim Yong-gi. Judge Kim serves on the Intellectual Property High Court of Korea and is director of the International IP Law Research Center. Over with over nearly 2 decades on the bench, he has served in district courts, the Seoul Central District Court, and is now at the appellate level in one of the world's most sophisticated specialized IP courts. He has studied administrative law at Korea University and earned an LL.M in intellectual property law at UCLA. He has pursued advanced training in public policy and sustainable development. And before his judicial career, he also studied English translation and interpretation. We have much to go through, and I'm very excited and honored to welcome you to Profiles in Leadership. Let's begin. During your education, your formative years. So you studied administrative law at Korea University. How was that like?
Okay, I really liked it. But before starting, jump into our interview, it's my great pleasure and honor to be given this opportunity. So yes, I really hope to enjoy this time. Yes, yeah, I actually experienced many educational opportunities, like as you mentioned, Korea University, and after that, I traveled to United States to complete my LL.M in UCLA. Yes, and I pursued advanced training in public policy and sustainable development in KDI in Korea now. So yes, I really enjoyed that journey.
What differences or similarities would you say there are between legal education in Korea and legal education in the United States?
Oh yes, that's a very good question. Actually, big difference I found there is that in the United States, very active discussion is really encouraged. So in Korea, even though we have some different idea or opinion, it is sometimes we hesitate to express that kind of difference because it might be regarded as disrespectful, especially to the our seniors. However, I found that in the United States, even though we have big difference in ages or some legal background or some education background, the discussions are highly encouraged. So I think it was very good culture.
Thank you. So, of course, here in the United States, we have a large number of students from Korea, and they do advanced degrees like you, and they go back. What is your experience like in terms of the impact of you and others who have uh, been to the US and learned not just the law of the US, but also the culture in the US in interfacing with the legal community in Korea? Do they welcome this? Do they say, well, no, we have to do it the way that it's always been done? How are the dynamics like?
Yeah, actually, luckily, I traveled to Los Angeles in California when I first visited United States. So as you may well know, there are so many Korean communities. So not only just Korean community, but also U.S. citizens really welcomed me. And even in the university in UCLA, I could met many friends, not only from Korea, but also United States, and also even other countries like Asia, Japan, China, and also in Europe. So actually, I could really felt that that is the melt of the races the United States was.
And when you finished and you went back to Korea, do you find that you had become different in the way that you looked at the world and that didn't quite fit with how the existing Korean legal community looked at things and did things? Or were they welcoming about new ideas and they changed as a result of people like you who have gone overseas and brought that overseas experience back?
Yes, actually, the Korean judiciary has been giving the judges the opportunities to go abroad when they served for about 10 or 15 years. And so that's why Korean judiciary encourages judges to learn from different cultures or different legal backgrounds. So luckily, when I finished my LM UCLA, I also was given the another opportunity to do my fellowship in Eastern District, Texas for about 6 months. And then after that, I came back to not to bench, but to some National Court Administration and the Supreme Court of Korea. And so there, especially luckily also, I was given the opportunity to develop new policies for Korean judiciary. So they really welcomed my new ideas. So for example, actually, I wanted to adopt that kind of discussion culture to our legal field too. So when my even junior colleague asked me any questions, I took it very actively, and we had very deep conversation about that matter, and also. I thought he is not my junior, but just friend. That's what I learned from the U.S. culture. So they really welcomed my new ideas.
That's wonderful. So you did public policy and sustainable development on top of law. Tell us about why you decided that those were areas that you also wanted to develop further in.
Oh, that's a very interesting question. Actually, I am just a just law person. It means that I did my law. I graduated from College of Law, and I did my master in administrative law. But while I was sitting in the bench, I thought I need to understand the world more deeply. Not just the law is the only key to solve that tangled problems. And also, I thought the role of judiciary is not just declare what is the justice, what is the correctness, but the role of it is to provide good tools or good solutions anyway to the citizens who are suffering from that legal issues. And through that kind of process, we need to make this society more sustainable or more good place anyway to the citizens. To have that kind of broader view, I thought I need to study some sociological field. So I decided to take that kind of class. And one more thing is that Korean judiciary gives some opportunities for the judges to take that kind of master's degrees. I don't have to pay money for taking that kind of opportunity. It's a great opportunity for me.
That's a wonderful resource. How many, just as a rough feel, how do most judges take advantage of those opportunities, or are you the exception?
That's a good question. Yes, I think the opportunities are given many judges, but many judges are very hesitate to take that opportunity because in many cases they are very busy with their cases. But I just decided to take that opportunity, and normally I take the class in the evening or during the weekend. So sometimes I am a bad father or bad husband because of that.
So it sounds like your court expects you to keep a full-time workload, and if you want to do extra study, that's your private time, evenings and
Sure,
weekends.
sure,
Ah, I
exactly.
see. Okay. So one of the things that you also did was English translation and
Hmm.
interpretation.
Hmm.
How did that come about?
Yes. After coming back from United States, I found that developing my English skill is very important because I found that I need to do comparative study to make my decision much more meet the global standard, which means that these days there are many cases which contain some global issues like some cross-border issues, or in many countries, jurisdictions, there are similar cases like SCP cases, something like that. So before I make my own decision, I thought I need to look up or refer to some cases from other jurisdictions. But if I just rely on some expertise for some English translate, something like that, it takes time. And also, I need to be very careful whether that translation is correct or not. So just learning English more deeply, I thought it would be very helpful for my comparative study. And other than that kind of benefit, I also these days I can freely communicate with legal expertise or professors or judges from other jurisdictions. So it is very helpful for improving my legal expertise too. So that's why I took that course, and it was 3 years ago. And luckily, I could get the certificate for translation.
Clearly, somebody that's very motivated to think about how one can do better. And I expect that our listeners will be inspired by that as well. Has that changed the way that you look at comparative law compared to your colleagues, for example? Are you looking generally more at what's happening overseas? And are you also citing to those overseas developments in your judgments?
Yes, yes, that's a very good question. Actually, the 3 years ago, I composed a case study group, this international IP case study group composed of 4 judges. And also our name is BIPS, bilingual IP judges. So every week, we choose some interesting international IP cases, the decisions or opinions. And so we debate with that decision after reading individually. So it is very helpful to compare our practice or precedents to the US one or UPC ones. So uh, actually, in Korean opinion judgment, we do not refer to some foreign case number, but in many cases, now I know what was the decision by US court or UPC or other UK court. So I can just make my rationale much more persuasive. So that's the benefit of some studying some comparative law.
I did have a question about the US legal system. Uh, and was there something about the US legal system's approach to IP in particular? Because you focused on that at UCLA, that
Mhm.
that drew you to want to do IP, drew you to want to do a degree in the US, in particular in UCLA.
Mhm. Yes, you mean the why I took this IP field? It was
Why
your
you took
question?
the IP field and why UCLA?
Okay, okay, that's a good question. Actually, it was just from very tiny episode. It was back in it was 2009, 2009. It was my first year after becoming a judge. And one day, one senior judge just suggested me to join the IP judges community. At that time, I didn't join any community, so I just decided to take his offer. And luckily, after that, joining that community, I was given the opportunity to join some special committee under Supreme Court of Korea. And that time, Supreme Court of Korea wanted to make a plan to make our Korean IP court as the IP High Court, IP Hub Court in Asia or even in the world. So to make that plan realized, we wanted to make some uh, new policies. So I just studied some what's going on in the United States or in the Europe. So it was very interesting. And at that time, Eastern District of Texas was very popular. And also the headquarters was just in Tyler. And I just one day I read some article about Eastern District of Texas, which is attracting so many litigants, and also it can lead to the development of the economy of the city. So it became the good model for our IP hub court plan. And so I decided to really study about that kind of changes from from the popularity of legal forum to development of economy. It was a very interesting topic. So I decided to specialize in IP. And why LA? That's because the California has very gorgeous weather. So I just decided to bring my whole family to the state. And then I decided to participate in Eastern District of Texas Bench and Bar Conference because if I go there, I thought I could learn much about the reason why Eastern District of Texas has become the popular forum. So I flew to Texas, even though when I was staying in LA, and then it was a good opportunity to get to know many EDTX Texas judges, and it led to my fellowship there.
Thank you. So you really sounds like you were there at the beginning when
Uh-huh.
South Korea wanted to establish itself as
Mm.
a center for IP dispute resolution.
Sure,
And
sure.
by then, it sounds like you also had a good number of years of experience as a judge.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
as you had served on the district courts, Seoul Central District Court, and now you are the IP High Court. How have these different roles as a judge shaped your understanding of the Korean judiciary as an institution?
It's also a good question. As you mentioned, luckily, I was given the opportunity to serve in diverse instances and also in the diverse institutions, like not just in the court, but also in the National Court Administration. So I think that kind of opportunity gave me good chance to look into my systems. So what is the strength or what is the weakness of our district court level litigation, and also what we should improve or what we should add to our current systems. So in sum, I think those kind of experience gave me opportunities or good ideas to improve our system. So I think that's why I was given the time to work for National Court Administration as a director of judicial policy for 2 years.
And that's actually a great segue to my next question. Is there a equivalent of that position in the United States? And what does it actually do in terms of judicial governance or administration? And how does that interface between policy design and adjudication work?
Yes, I think I already hit this question a little bit before, but through this kind of journey I recognize that the role of judiciary, it's not just declare the justice or correctness, what is correctness, but the actual or the end goal of judiciary is to provide peace, happiness to the citizens. They are suffering from just very mingled disputes between them. So to accomplish that kind of very important role of judiciary, I think some court administration or developing new policies for litigation system is very, very important because it has many important impact on the litigation process itself. So yeah, it is true that one single judge do his best to solve the problem um, accurately or reasonably or legally, but providing good systems for helping them to do that in a appropriate time or in a good manner, in a good way is very, very important. So in that respect, I think some policy making process or service for that kind of role is also very meaningful.
Well, in Washington, D.C., we have a federal judicial center.
Mhm.
Would you say that that's the equivalent of uh, the center that you are part of?
Uh-huh. The center, International IPO Research Center, you mean? Is that correct? Or the
The,
National Court Administration?
the direct National Court Administration.
Yes, it's similar, but the National Court Administration is under the Supreme Court of Korea, and also normally it is in charge of some administrative things, not just research those things. The long-term research can be done by judicial research institution. We have in different institution too, but National Court Administration is short-term enforcement of judicial policy. That is a little bit different, I think.
One other aspect of uh, the Korean judiciary system compared to the US system that's different is in the US, if you're appointed a judge, you're pretty much in the district that you are in. You might become elevated to the Court of Appeals and then you might be elevated to the Supreme Court. But it seems like there's a lot more rotation of portfolios at the horizontal level in Korea. You've got many different appointments. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yes, actually, some judgeship, the system for judgeship has been changed in recently. However, back in 2006, when I was just first appointed as a district judge, at that time, luckily, I could be appointed as judge right after I passed the national bar exam. Even though after that, I need to take 2 years of training course. And then I directly could be appointed as a judge. And then we should rotate each court for every 3 or 4 years at that time. So I think there were some criticism about that kind of rotation system because it hinders judges from continuing the cases or just handling that case more efficiently. So recently, we are changing our systems. So district judges can be appointed as high court judge, is appellate level judge, like a circuit judge in the United States, after serving about 15 years. So after serving, for me, after serving as district judge in Seoul Central District Court or as director of judicial policy, I was appointed as a high court judge for IP High Court of Korea back in 2021. So since 2021, now I don't rotate my court. So this is my 6th year as a High Court judge in IP High Court of Korea. So now, similar to circuit judge in Federal Circuit, I just stay in this court and I hear the cases for many years. So yes, I think we are changing our system similar to US ones in some part.
So does this mean that you have the option of remaining at the IP High Court till the end of your career, if you like? Or are you still expected to move somewhere else if they want you to move later on?
Yes, yes, to be honest, I am not sure because it is not declared formally. But yes, I think so. If I won, I can stay here for more than 10 years or yes.
Thanks. Let's shift gears and talk about the Korean legal system. It's a system that I think people in the US, if they knew more about, would be very interested in it. It's certainly very dynamic. It's done lots for the country. But one fundamental aspect of the legal system in the United States, as you know, is the the judicial role as the third branch of the government. So, and the role of the courts to interpret, in particular, the Constitution and have the supremacy of the Constitution. The famous case of Marbury versus Madison comes to mind. Does the Korean judiciary adopt the same approach towards its role vis-a-vis the executive and the legislature?
Yes, we also, the judiciary has the power to interpret the law which is enacted by legislature. And also we have some administrative body. So the three bodies have independent power. And when the courts make a decision about some specific case, some different from the US system, like some case law system, we have just specific statutes. So the main role is to interpret what is the word from the statute first. However, if we do not have the exact statute, we also refer to the precedents from the Supreme Court. It's similar to US one. So in some part we are similar, but in some part we are different, I think.
Thanks. Of course, another difference is Korea is very deeply rooted in its Confucian tradition and Asian values. How do you think that has affected the way that Korean judges look at expertise or collegiality or institutional responsibility?
Yes, in this question, I also hope to say that we are also changing. In the past, many judges prefer to work independently. Even though they want to ask some questions to the expertise, they just prefer to study alone and just they look for some books or thesis or papers from other doctors or professors, not just discuss with their colleagues. However, I think our culture is also changing because now we agree that it's better to discuss with others or take some expertise viewpoint or their opinions. So very often these days in our court too, we also allow some expert testimony, and also we allow some appraisal as an evidence. And also during the deliberation, we actively discuss between the judges, even though between the senior judge and the junior judges. So yes, that's why I think we are also changing our culture.
And are junior judges allowed to disagree publicly with senior judges?
Sure, sure, of course, yes, these days. And also, frankly speaking, I like those kind of very brave junior judge when they ask me to discuss. And yes, some month ago, my colleague, but he was junior, and he and I had some different opinion about some issues in a case, and so we had very long discussion, and I was persuaded by his opinion. So yes, we made a conclusion according to his opinion. Yes, and that's after that I really yeah, I like him anyway.
So it's okay to speak up. I
Sure.
suppose you do it thoughtfully and respectfully. And it sounds like the Korean judiciary is blessed to have open-minded judges like you willing to take in different perspectives. Now, the other thing about the Korean legal system is it's often praised for its technical contribution, its technical sophistication rather, and speed. So, from your perspective as a judge, what factors, cultural factors or institutional factors, have you think make that possible?
Yes. At the beginning, I talked about some comparative law. So with that point of view, I want to share our expert supporting system. So in the United States, there are technical advisors. They are outside court expert. So they are called to the court if the judge asks them to come to the court and help them to understand the complex cases or techniques. And in the Europe or UPC, they have technically qualified judge. They are in-house judges. So they also part in making the decisions, and they help the legally qualified judges to understand the technical issues correctly and deeply. However, in Korea, we have some technical advisors who resides within the court, in-house experts. They are called judicial technical examiner and judicial researcher. So if some case is filed before my court, they started to investigate all the technical issues and technical terms and jargons, and they give the report to the judges. So they kept helping the judges to correctly or deeply understand the technical issues. So in IP High Court Korea, there are 23 technical advisors according to their field, technical field. So that's why I think the Korean IP High Court judges can handle or resolve the complex IP cases in a very efficient way or sometimes in a very short time. And also, there are some cultural things in Korea. You might heard of the word that Korean peoples are very quick, right? So even though when we saw the statistics, I think our Korean litigation process is not slow, but Korean citizens ask the judges to resolve the cases more quickly. So we, the judges, and also some national court administration, always think about how we can improve our process more quick or more suitable to meet the legal needs of the citizens. So there are two aspects to make our systems that have that kind of characteristics, I think.
Thank you. I'm curious to know when you're thinking about improving the process, making decisions more quickly, where is the Korean judiciary today in thinking about incorporating artificial intelligence, AI, into the work that they are doing, that you are doing?
Yes, our AI is they're always everywhere. There are AI, and even in judicial process, we are considering to take AI techniques, right? So in Korea too, in Korean judiciaries, we are also began to implement some AI techniques. For example, I heard that our new system will have judges to find out very similar precedents. And also we can ask the system, the program to summarize the briefs from the parties. And also sometimes it is very easy, but they find out some typos of our final opinion, something like that. And other than that kind of thing, I think some AI technique or some innovative technical skills will be adopted by Korean judiciary. I heard that there are some special committee to study what is the best model for our judiciary. So some judges and experts are cooperating together to develop one. So I think maybe in a year or 2 years, we can see new systems for Korean judiciary which adopt AI systems.
Thanks. I do want to ask about another interesting development for just a moment that happened in Korea last year, and that is the establishment of a ministerial level Korean
Mm-hmm.
IP office. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us about what led to this development and what type of impact do you think that will have on the broader IP ecosystem, including courts, practitioners, and IP right holders?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was very big news in Korea last year. The KIPO, Korea Intellectual Property Office, was elevated to ministerial level. So it means that now in Korea, the IP policy can be implemented uh, more strongly or more actively, I mean. So now the Ministry of Intellectual Property, just for example, the Ministry of IP in Korea, they can join the meeting with the president. So if they have some issues to adopt a new policy, they can just let him know, let the president know, and then consult him about how they can establish the new system. So it means that they can have much more power. So and recently, in fact, they are meeting with not just IP5 country leaders, but also I heard that recently they visited Saudi Arabia and some Singapore and other countries to dispatch Korean patent examiners. It means that they become much more active, and also just one example, another example is that our IP High Court Korea uh, are holding some annual IP Court conference. So this year, we are planning to co-host the conference with MOIP, Ministry of Intellectual Property, to make our conference much more fruitful. So now I think Korean IP ecosystem becomes more powerful, I think.
Thanks. That's a good point that people may not realize how physically close the IP High Court is to the Ministry of IP. Both of you are located in Daejeon and very
Mhm.
close together. Uh,
Yes, very close.
People may
Yes.
be surprised that you're not in Seoul. What was the thinking of having both of these bodies focusing on IP
Mhm.
in Daejeon and not in Seoul?
Mhm.
Wa- Was there a what was the administrative thinking behind having it located in Daejeon?
Yes. Yeah, actually, this Daejeon, which have many some companies or institutions which is related to IP or science. So yes, there's some, and also is some political decision to build our IP specialized court in Daejeon because at that time there's some political agreement to develop some regional cities by uh, establishing some important governmental institutions, not in Seoul, but in some southern small city. But Daejeon is not small city, but it is in the center of our Korean peninsula. So yes, that's why about 25 years ago they decided to establish our API code here in Daejeon.
And
And now, yes, it's very good as you mentioned because our IP High Court is very close to MOIP and also other some very famous university like KAIST, so which is very famous institution too, right?
so how do the families of the judges feel, the IP High Court
Mm.
judges, when they get this posting and they have got to move from, say, Seoul to Daejeon?
Uh-huh. Ah, yes, that's tricky question. Yeah, actually, yeah, for me, I decided to move from Seoul to Daejeon when I was appointed as a High Court judge for IP High Court. But some judges, they are living separate from their family. So But recently, as you may know, that they are allowed to do their remote work. So for 3 days they work in Daejeon, for 2 days they work in Seoul. So they feel comfortable about this kind of working conditions. So there's no problem that much. But yes, it is true that it'll be some judges think it'll be much better if we move to Seoul in some days because we have many foreign parties. They travel from foreign countries, and also the Incheon International Airport is close to Seoul rather than to Daejeon.
Thanks. You talked about the cooperation that you have with the Ministry of IP. You've got this conference coming up. More broadly, as you've got more and more cross-border technology disputes, what role do you see the IP High Court or the ministry playing in shaping global conversations around IP law or AI or dispute resolution?
Mhm. That's an interesting question. As I mentioned, the Supreme Court of Korea set the goal of making our IP High Court as the IP hub court in Asia or even in the world. It was back in 2015. And after that, they asked the parliament to put a budget for international conference. So since 2015, we are holding the annual IP court conference to invite some very renowned IP judges. And so every year we invite IP judges from US, Japan, China, and UPC, and UK, and Germany. So we are debating what is the best model for IP litigation, IP practice, and how we can make a good standard for deciding the obviousness or novelty or some AI invention or AI delivered copyright, something like that. So I think IP, by providing that kind of forum for IP judges, I think the IP High Court Korea is doing a good role for these IP global societies. And this year, in the first week of November, we'll held the International IP Court Conference, maybe with MOIP. And then this year, we will considering to discuss about AI delivered copyright and also cross-border issues like international jurisdiction and choice of law about some cross-border infringement, and also standard essential patent related issues like anti-suit injunctions and some battles between the UPC and UK court recently. Uh, so, uh, so that kind of issues will be discussed very actively between the judges in Korea.
Thank you. So now you're also at the level where, which you alluded to earlier, mentoring younger judges, you're speaking to lawyers, scholars. What advice do you have for those who want to work at this intersection of law, technology, and global governance? Or to put it differently, how can they aspire to be like you?
Oh, I think it is very early to take that kind of question because I always think I'm very young because I'm young, right? I'm young, Kim. Yes. Anyway, if I could answer to your good question, I think I wanna advise them to break their uh, their prejudice about some nationality or race or their language. I mean, we are the global citizens, so we should take that kind of responsibility to make this global peacefully and also more developed in a good way. So we need to cooperate. So if the young judges have a broader insight about that kind of matter, I think they can be a good global citizens and they can do a great role for that kind of areas. And also, as I stressed from the beginning, I I want to highly recommend them to do some comparative study when they make their own decisions. And then in that case, they could be the top leading counsel or legal expert, not just in their country, but in the world field.
Thank you. Those are inspiring words. And I do
Mhm,
hope that we'll see more global citizens and think
mhm,
more broadly than their own jurisdiction. We all have a lot to learn from each other. I'm going to ask you
mhm.
one final question in closing, but also then after that, invite you to just deliver some general thoughts or remarks about leadership in general to our listeners. So here's the final question from me, which is what do you think matters most about leadership? What quality do you think matters most when you think about leadership in the judiciary and why?
Oh, this is not a simple question. For the leadership, I think the most important thing is do him by himself in advance before asking the other person to follow him, to do himself. It means that, yes, doing something first or prior to the other person ask us to uh, do it with some courage, right? It's not easy, I mean. So, yes, in that case, the leader should do it by himself, by herself first, and then ask them to follow them. And then in that case, they will yes do it because they might think uh, they can easily just follow him, and also they can trust why he advised them to follow them. So that is the very important things I think as for the leadership, I think.
Thank you. And do you have any final thoughts you'd like to share?
Yes, Mr. Talim, I think it is very, very interesting and precious opportunity for me. For preparing this interview, I could see other very renowned speakers interview, and it was good opportunity to understand the legal background or culture or expertise too through that kind of interview. So I think you are doing really, really meaningful job through this interview. I hope this interview could be shared many not just legal experts but also with students or young generations, and it will lead to make this globe much more developed and more peaceful in the end. Yes, I
Well,
think.
thank you
Thank you
very
so
much for
much
your
for that.
Well, thank you very much for your kind words and for your this thoughtful and generous conversation. We are deeply grateful for the insights that you've shared with us, really helping us understand why people like you make Korea a bright spark in the world that we live in today. And again, I want to thank you for the time you are taking to join us on this episode of Profiles in Leadership.
Thank you so much for having me today.